Hi everyone, Mr.T here, just with a quick report from Sosua Beach. Now a lot of my clients are asking what's happening or going to happen with Sosua Beach, because there's been meetings and protests about the future of it. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit about what I've heard and my opinion as well. Well, I just had a meeting with a politically involved person here, and I'd like to call them the cabal. The government and big investors have for years actually tried to get the business owners out of this beach and get the general public out of this beach and try to turn you can call it a pig's ear into a silk purse in their mind maybe, but to change what it is. And it has always been a place where the general public can come and enjoy eating good food, partying, swimming, and just hanging out by the beach all day if that's what they wanted to do. Punta Cana was built as a typical resort area where you got to show your ID just to get in, or you got to be booked in and pay money and to even get access to get to the beach. We would hate to see this happen, but they keep pushing. There's a little analogy about a camel in the desert who wanted to get into the Bedouin's tent. First he started by waking the Bedouin up and saying, "Excuse me, master, do you mind if I warm my nose in your tent? It's so awfully cold here in the desert tonight." And the Bedouin said, "Okay, no problem." 10 minutes later, the camel woke him up again and says, "I would like if I could warm my whole head in the tent, would that be okay?" And this carried on till the camel had its entire body in the tent, and then it chased the Bedouin out of his own tent into the desert and took over the tent. And that's what's been happening here. It's an inch at a time. They chip away. If there's any business owners watching this from Sosua Beach, or anybody who can influence it staying the way it is and growing organically, then please do your part to fight against this takeover, because they've been planning this for many years, this takeover, and they've been trying to harass the businesses, shut them down, tell them when they can and can't sell drinks. But police gets a pay rise, politicians get a pay rise, but they keep screwing with the businesses. Why? Because they want them to go away. It's called bullying. It's a bunch of bullies, and we need to stop this. So I hope the Sosua business people and anybody else who can get involved will support both in person and legally to help put the boundaries in place, support the beach organization of business people here to protect Sosua Beach. It's a beautiful strip of old trees that shades a whole strip of shops and restaurants and bars, and then you can go out onto the beach area under an umbrella and enjoy that, or jump in the water. And I would hate to see that change. It brings in millions of people every year to this spot who can come and enjoy it. They've had buses parked all the way along the highways coming from all over the country, because there's many people who live in towns where they can't get to swim, so they come here to enjoy this. But the big investors and the government doesn't give a shit about that. They just want everybody out, and that careless kind of attitude needs to be shoved back up their nostrils. So anyway, what they're kind of planning to do is to put some kind of businesses, but upmarket their suppliers in each end of the beach and build some structures, and in the middle the same kind of thing, upmarket shops with their suppliers, and then put a whole strip of hotels on the other side of the highway, and then all these casitas, all these restaurants and bars and shops will be kicked out, bulldozed, and they'll turn it into green areas. So that's the word in the street, so to say. So I would love to see it stay the way it is and just grow. If they hadn't screwed with it for the last 2 decades, and I've watched a lot of that go on, then it would have just grown, just like Pattaya in Thailand. That's also a place where tourists come and frisky ladies and guys meet and all that. But instead of looking at it like a bad thing and frowning at it, they capitalized on it and turned Pattaya from something that was the size of Sosua into a multi-billion turnover city with shopping malls and beautiful walking streets and Thai boxing rings, etc. So we need to fight to preserve Sosua's original style, and we don't want to see the police harassing neither girls or vendors. We've seen that for many years here. So yeah, stand up for your rights, know your rights, hire a lawyer if you're a business owner, and fight this shit. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned. Over and out.